Hey everyone, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be putting together an Everyday Explorers project with the new April stamps. It is the Currently Prompt stamp set, and I'm really into like the mind maps lately. I made an About Me project a little while ago, shared it on Instagram, and that kind of inspired this project to do a Currently March spread all about myself. And I've kind of staggered the photos in kind of almost an oval shape, maybe a circle shape, because I know that I'm going to have like a central embellishment area in the middle, but also I want to be able to draw the lines pointing down towards the currently and towards like the journaling lines. It'll make more sense as I go, but I picked lots of photos. I think I picked 10, I picked a lot of photos to document various parts of my March. I'm just so excited to put this together. I'm so excited. It's just one of those projects where I got this idea to do the mind map and I was like, I could totally make this work, and I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with my stamps. And that is exactly what happened, and I love it. And it's not like a traditional type of layout with, you know, like a grid type or maybe even a Project Life type. It is kind of freeform, I guess, and it's a lot of fun once I get everything put together and all the different pieces. And I also added in my video lots of little pieces of the journaling. That way I can tell you all the funny stories that happened in March. I'm also using the Quick Note stamp set to stamp out several different pieces that I can add to the central embellishment area, and I'm also going to layer them on a photo. I think I was intending to layer some of like the ticket stub one on 2 photos, but somehow I only did it on 1 photo. So, but that's okay. I was having a lot of fun with those note pages, and I am going to use them to kind of help build the central location for my Currently March, which is going to be in the middle. I just stamped a ton of currently prompts, like currently exploring, currently enjoying, currently playing, currently proud of this, currently reading, a slice of everyday life, right here and right now. So a ton of different prompts, and since I was making such a mess, that's why I used the heart dish, so that way I would not lose any of the prompts. I also have 2 ticket stubs that I am cutting out and 2 of the notes, and also a March. And up in the right hand corner you can see all those shapes that I've already kind of cut out. I am going to stamp something else on those to add in some pattern and lots of color. My goal is to make sure that I have a currently prompt for pretty much every single photo. And it's actually 12 photos. I got a whopping 12 photos on this spread, and it pretty much covers everything that was kind of like the highlight for me in March. And doing the everyday collage type pages are definitely a key part of my me albums when I make them. So I grabbed the Currently from an older stamp set. If it's still available, I will link it. But that script Currently, I'm going to use that as my main title piece along with the March. And the March I pop dotted on a ticket stub, and behind that I thought I was going to put one of those notes, but I am going to move it to a different spot. And I do need to stamp my flower shape on the colorful half circles. Right now I am just figuring out where I want to place the different prompts. I thought I was going to have a different one. I think I was going to put Currently Thankful For on the one of my son and I, but I decided to put So Proud of This because he turned 13 at the end of March, which is, I don't know how that happens. It really is true what people say, is that the days are long, but the years are short, and they just fly by, absolutely fly by. I took that photo with my wild hair and I put a ticket stub behind that. I have pop dotted the March now and layered it with a ticket stub behind it. That way it wasn't just lost in the background, I guess is what I was going for. Okay, so this is where I start drawing the lines so that way I can kind of connect it to the central area with the currently March, and I'm also going to add in some journaling lines. And I don't know about you, but when I draw journaling lines, I always wind up having to draw a second round of journaling lines because I always wind up writing more than I thought. Before I start writing my actual journaling, I want to make sure that I stamp the currently title. I was having trouble with this ink. It's more of the chalky type of ink from Ali Edwards, and I wanted a good impression. So I think I've explained this to you guys before, but my rule is if I can't get it in 3 tries, that's it. I'm moving on. So I got it by the 3rd try, and I liked it, so I pop dotted it, layered it with some pop dotting, and also right above the March. Now I am stamping a flower on the different pieces of paper that I kind of punched out. I kind of just did half circles, and I also took my scissors and I cut some slits to mimic the shape of the flower, and that way it also gives some dimension. And I always like to kind of quote unquote cheat and not get a full shape. That way I can just hide it. Like I can, as you can see above the currently, I have a yellow shape and I'm just hiding that. Same thing with the blue that's going to go there. And I had to cut that orange one that's going to go up by my husband and I, because it was just a little too big for that section. I'll also put a little cluster down by my workout photo and my wild hair photo. So I have lots of different clusters, and I love these bright colors. When I came up with this idea for these flowers and making them, I just was like, good job, me. You ever do that? Leave a comment if you ever do that when you're like making a scrapbook project and you think of an idea and you're like, oh, that's a good idea. Good job, me. Same thing with this idea right here. I took one of the notes and I put a tiny piece on the right side and then the rest of it on the left side. And I was like, oh, that is a really good idea. And I then am going to add right now on top of it and just repeat that over and over again. So yeah, I'd love to know if you pat yourself on the back for a good idea. Besides the fact that we should just pat ourselves on the back for doing a great job documenting our stories and our family stories, but also pat ourselves on the back for good ideas. So I decided that I wanted to make another cluster of my shapes, but I don't have full circle shapes, and so I need to kind of cover that up. And I pulled out a stamp that said all about me, and it was a big circle, and so that was perfect. And you can see here that I'm tucking in the green shape, and I will add another orange shape as well, so that way I can have the clustering all in the middle just like I wanted. I'm going to cut it in half, that way I can save the other half for another section. And then I will begin the journaling, and I can share all the fun stories with you about my month. Okay, let's do the stories. So up in the top right corner, I have a hiking photo of my husband and we are continuing with our weekly hikes. The bottom photo in the bottom right corner is a photo my husband took. I posted on my Instagram about mops, and I had the best response to all different types of mops and how people clean their floors, and it was just the best. It was so cool to have that kind of response, but I also mopped my floors, so that was very exciting in and of itself. I put for currently reading, I continue to love breakfast bowls and reading. I also had a big giant burger. I like to have one every once in a while, and it was delicious. I am my husband and I are revisiting that show La Brea. I'm proud of myself for doing my workouts, and the photo of my daughter and I said she's kind of like my soccer sideline sidekick. And then on the Misty, I just said I'm showing people how to love stamping, and there was a bird nesting is the last photo. My last little thing is just some enamel dots, and that will finish up this spread. And I absolutely love how it came together. I hope that you have enjoyed seeing this spread come together, and I hope it gave you some ideas for using your stamps and documenting your stories. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you are new to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.